So once again, when we're dealing with commercial instruments, we're dealing with the presumption of not only you being a U.S. citizen, but the presumption that you're a ward. Because once you have a nationality card and then you competently show all the laws pertaining to nationality cards and how they're superior to corporate instruments, on top of the fact that you're not operating your commercial capacity, meaning you're not an Uber driver, meaning you're not a truck driver, meaning you're not a taxi. Anything outside of that capacity, that's another level check. I want to highlight that because I seemed like that was a tone. Like, so now I'm talking about that. Uh, since I already got this already queued up, I'm going to go into this too, since I already got it. So I want to highlight the fact that whenever you hear in the Bible the lost tribe of Israel, just simply know that that's just the people that just don't know the nationality and culture. You know, that's a reference to the Moors that failed. On top of the fact that Israel or Hebrew, the Hebrews and Israelites are synonymous. Like we say, oh, the Israelites, they're saying, oh, that's the Hebrews. So Hebrew just means the crossover, the separation of Ham and Cush. The old part of the world, which we know as the Americas, was Ham's jurisdiction. The youth that built kingdoms and dynasties on the eastern part of the world crossed over to that side of the world, started building pyramids, expanding the culture that way. Those are called the Hebrews. It's an action. This is a refreshment since I already had it up, and I'm gonna go into that. I don't want to just lose my thoughts. There's a reason why I keep stuff up, so I don't want to just lose it. Okay. So now let's go. We already know this stuff. I want to go into the 14th Amendment. We already know about the proclamation. Oh, also reference the proclamations. As far as the emperors, I'm not sure if she's still on here.
I believe we should make that folder. We should put that
Let
idea.
me see if she's still on. What'd you say?
The folder idea. Remember we were talking about that?
Yes.
Like when we didn't any kind of interactions, pull that out.
Yeah.
Then they're incompetent. Competence right there. They can redo it.
Right, right.
And we should have like a little, like short something on that. We can make renders together.
Right. So pretty much what I'm about to show you is something that y'all could take screenshots on. Dealing with the 14th Amendment. It's weird.
Do you want to find it faster? Control F.
Control F.
No, Control F. Control.
That's right. Okay, open.
Okay, yeah, find out the 14th Amendment.
14th Amendment. Pop up. How you exit out of this?
All right, just cancel all of it. Sure. Backspace. So the 14.
Oh, exit out of here. Go back to live. No. Okay, so
That's right there.
okay, I'm trying to show y'all a visual as far as actual 14th Amendment and how it's showing how states did not ratify it. Like literally each state. So the reason why that's imperative is because when you find yourself in litigation, even that court itself, the reason they feel they got jurisdiction because they say in the state of California, which is a corporate state, and we're dealing with the United States. You can't be a U.S. citizen is a corporate citizen, right? So to demystify that presumption, we have this another angle. This is another angle amongst the other ones we talked about earlier. Is the 14th Amendment was not ratified. So you can't be a U.S. citizen. On top of the fact, your bloodline back to the Department of State Consular Notification Access Manual. In the Q&A section of that manual, which are instructions for federal, state, and local law enforcement, it talks about, is nationality and citizenship the same thing? Yes. That's what that manual talks about. That's why that manual was key, because that's the gateway between the municipal jurisdiction and the international law. So it's key. I don't know why it's taking so long to find it. There we go. Bam. There we go. All right. So the 14th Amendment was not ratified. Here we go. Let me pull this up so y'all can take screenshots and also reference the congressional record, Proceedings and Debates, 90th Congress, First Session, Volume 113. I have a certified copy of this ruling from the Library of Congress stating, which is what I'm about to read right now, that the 14th Amendment is unconstitutional. What is the 14th Amendment? Quick recap. That's the Naturalization Act, stating that if you want to become a U.S. citizen, you have to be naturalized, take the naturalization test, the DAR manual. All that's under the 14th Amendment. So if the 14th Amendment was rejected by Texas, rejected by Georgia, rejected by Florida, rejected by Alabama, rejected by North Carolina in 1866, to be specific, December and November, to be specific, you got specific dates, rejected in Kentucky on January 8, 1867, rejected by Virginia, January 9th, 1867, rejected. So if it's rejected, that means it wasn't ratified. When you study the Constitution, for things to be law, it has to be ratified. It has to be ratified.
Hey, Mafi, but don't amend mean to change or improve?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So, okay, so there's a difference. I'm just trying for you to explain in its entirety ratification, because the definition of amend to change or improve. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, isn't ratification kind of in that ballpark? Or, I mean, if we kind of break it down even further, can you break that down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, so you're right. An amendment would be an addition. So like you set up a trust. You have an estate in there. You have beneficiaries. The grantor might want to make an amendment, which means a change. So you're right about that. But the change that was proposed got rejected. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't ratified. So somebody brought something to the table. I want to make a change. Texas said, nope, I reject that proposal to make a change. Georgia said, nope, I reject that proposal to make a change. Right? So the change can be brought to the table, but it has to be ratified to become a change. It wasn't ratified. That makes sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna dig in deeper on that, but yeah, I feel what you're saying, but I'm just trying to understand, like, maybe is it a little slight loophole that we missing, like, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to those two definitions, you know what I mean? That's
you mean
all.
amendment and ratify?
Correct, sir.
So okay, yeah, just look at ratify. So ratify means to basically I okay that. I sign off on that. An amendment is changing something or making an addition to something.
Okay.
Those are two different definitions.
Got you. All right. Because I was just thinking, I'm not, being confrontational, Sheik. I just was thinking like amendment and ratification kind of is like cousins in a sense, because the way the definitions are. That's all I was just trying to get clarity on. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's what I would say. The subtle differences between those two is ratify is signing off on the change or addition. An amendment is just making an addition.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
so something to be ratified, it has to go through Congress and be passed into law and all that stuff like that. So an
Yes.
amendment don't have to go through those steps. Is that what you're saying?
No, it does. You're actually right. You kind of answered it, maybe didn't know it, but everything I'm saying is based on the first um Article 1 of the Constitution spells out what I'm talking about. All amendments or additions to the Constitution, it has to go through a ratification process. So that's where I'm
Correct.
getting my lingo from. So
Correct.
study Article 1 of the Constitution. It's Article 1, Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, right? Like Article 1, Section 10, talk about gold and silver being lawful money. Like, so there's a lot of things in Article 1 that we just need to study. But yeah, Article 1 talks about how things are supposed to be properly ratified and how many states, a percentage of the states need to come together in majority to ratify it at that. Right. And as you can see, this was a unanimous decision. It wasn't even like 50-50. The 14th Amendment was unanimously rejected. And I use this in court actually. It's on YouTube. Matter of fact, yeah, go on YouTube. This is a court case that we got on the record. I was actually counsel for a board in Ventura, and I brought this up. The judge, it's on the record. The judge was like for 30 minutes, like just pondering through the stuff I filed on the record. And I'm telling them the 14th Amendment wasn't ratified. And I showed them basically this, but on the certified copy from the Library of Congress. This one's abbreviation, but on the actual thing I got from the Library of Congress, to go into why it was rejected, because it's unconstitutional. It even says that. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is a new space for, just kind of marinate on this. And also it's a reference right here, Congressional Record, Proceedings and Debates, 90th Congress, First Session 113, Part 12, June 12th to June 20th, 1967. You can order this from the Library of Congress to get a certified copy. You'll have a seal, wet ink signature. Now this is something that's admissible in court as an exhibit. You got something, brother? Go ahead, Kyle.
Yes, sir. So if I just want to make sure I'm following this because I was doing some studying into this and I seen some information that was that was pertaining to this too. So because it was saying that, are we saying that it's still not ratified till this day? Because they're saying online that it is ratified, but I think I just want to make sure I'm following this correctly. So today they're saying that because when we look it up, it says in 1868 it was ratified. All right. But I think it was like a year before that or something like that, to where they said it was and then it wasn't. So,
That's Google, right?
yes, sir. So I just want to make sure I'm kind of following it correctly. So what we're doing is we're debunking the fact that they're saying that it stands, but we're showing that, hey, no, matter of fact, in your own records, it doesn't stand by your own admission of your own information.
Right, exactly. That's
Okay.
that's why I'm showing you.
Islam.
Yeah, that's why the congressional records. See, Congress is government to them. So once you show them certified copies from their government agencies, which is considered the federal level to them or whatever, you showing they own. This not our stuff. This your stuff.
Right.
Why we gotta show y'all stuff? Like y'all, like why does it have to go that deep? Y'all know what's going on, unless you're incompetent and didn't know, and now I'm informing you on the spot in open court on the record. And so see how you just looked up something that said 1868 it was ratified. I'm showing you facts that it wasn't. January 15, 1868, New Jersey was rejecting stuff. Ohio was rejecting. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, what they're gonna put on it's truth and falsehood when you're looking at Google and Wikipedia. You have to kind of already be kind of studied to extract the light out of the garbage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you get rocked to sleep. You know what I mean?
Right. So basically okay, so now I'm understanding the verbiage when you saying, that's fraudulent. Because y'all
Fraud.
saying
Yeah.
that y'all did this, and when we go back and we look, um, according to your own board of, whatever you want to call board of directors, whatever table they sit at, this is actually false.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because like all the states got to collectively be like, all right, we cool with that in order for it to be ratified. I get what you're saying. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate both of y'all. I get what y'all saying. But I just had to, I was getting a little confused, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get clarification. But that's what's up. I got it.
Wow, that's wow. Yeah, so I kind of wanted Taraji Bay to hear that measure. That she's not on here, but yes, but this all ties into the corporate instruments because the corporate instruments say the state of something. The state of something is a creature or a subsidiary of the United States. Or it's a sister company or whatever. Your nationality card had nothing to do with that. They're trying to tie you to the 14th Amendment. So all this is relative to the identification when you find yourself an open court, because they're gonna try to tie you to being a 14th Amendment corporate citizen. So this is just another vantage point dealing with ID. It all, we gotta have our head on a swivel and just know all these things are in play. Um, keep some of these things on your person as well. I try to keep in my suitcase a lot of like I said, I got certified copies of stuff, actual, laminated stuff with wet ink signatures and seals on it. So, I know these
Yeah,
people are copy.
it sounds like we need to keep like a our own like you said like a laminated folder of these things in case we get pulled over. And I was hoping that the sister the Empress would have stayed on because I was gonna advise like maybe she should get like one of them review mirror recorders that do video feed to protect herself, and that'll also help her be able to bring it back to us so that it can be reviewed and revised too, so that she can get the correct knowledge moving forward.
Yeah, yeah, I was going to add on what I do myself personally is I have a binder and I have all the pertinent laws as Mafia is referring to. I have that nicely organized. So if I ever was pulled over, not saying that I want to be or trying to be, but if in case I was, I would hand them that binder that has all the information in there and let them allow them to take their time and assess through it and see that when they hand me back that binder is either they are honoring their oath or they're totally incompetent. It's either one or the other.
Correct. And most of them low level dudes is totally incompetent, brother, man. And Sister Taraji used to call me quite often, you know what I mean, when she would go through certain things. And I just keep trying to stress to her, like, those low level people do not understand. You know what I mean? They do not know. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to go through trials, and you're going to have to go through tribulation to get justice. And so she spent 9 days in jail. That was very unfortunate. But once she goes to court, she has everything she needs. I think patience is a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I just pray and meditate for her strength as she continues on her journey because she's a very knowledgeable woman. She sent me several documents to study and things of that nature. Emailed me so many things, and she knows what she's doing. She understands a lot, but it's just like they just don't hold a peace in the eyes of confrontation. They don't hold their peace. They don't just keep their calm. You know what I mean? They know a lot. So when the cop pulls them over, they're very like, what's up? Boom, 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 boom. And be in attack mode on the cop verbally. And then the cop wants to yank them and do all kinds of things because they don't understand what's going on. You know? So I just feel like she just needs to be patient and wait till she go to court to talk the things that she's talking to people who are competent enough to understand. And, with the case law that she presents and with the treaties and things of that nature, with the information Martha has provided with her and the information she already has, she should win. She said her husband won 2 of his cases. But that's all it took. It's for y'all to wait to get to court. Yeah, they're gonna lock you up. They're gonna do certain things, but you have to do what you got to do if you're trying to walk that walk. Y'all alone, like Moppy tells us, we don't have no area where it's a lot of us, so you don't really seem relevant. You seem like you just actor or something. You know what I'm saying? But once you go to court, they be like, "Oh, okay, cool." You know what I mean? Them same cops gonna keep harassing you. If they had a problem with you 2 weeks ago and they see you driving the same car in the same condition, they're gonna come back and mess with you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be prepared for those things. And they've been, and another thing, Miss Taraji and her husband also has been through a lot of sheiks, different sheiks, dirty sheiks that just, trying to get their bread and just not even giving them nothing. Like the national cars that they had before they met Mafia, they was trash. They was terrible looking. They was laminated. Like she sent me a picture of it. You know, it's a lot of things that lady has been through. So she needs to meditate a little more and get her level, her intuition at a level state. Her intuition is not at a level state. That's what I sense from her. She's very paranoid. She's very like quick to be like, nah, okay, I'm gonna do, So, you know, but love's to her. You know what I'm saying? She's a very nice lady, and I appreciate and love the fact that I met her. But it's some underlying factors in the play. But we all still family, and I yield the floor.
Islam, yeah. But uh, like you said, we still a plan, and we'll do whatever that's in our power to assist and be great. But yeah, back to that intelligent tone. It's like I know it's more to the situation because, like I said, I get y'all in the South, but I also know. But I've been on the phone with her live when they got pulled over before. She called me in the heat of the scene on one of them situations, and I saw how they was talking. It was like what I mean. It was very frantic and stuff like that, and that doesn't really help. You know, you crackers and all this stuff. We can't be talking. What I'm saying? Like we get it, but you just can't. Back to the intelligent tone. Uh, any other thought, questions, statements? Today's an interesting day, man. And like I said, we kind of on the fly. We got Nobu Ali Day actually on Wednesday. Getting ready for that. It's going to be a physical demonstration. I'm going to be doing a lecture, performing a song. Quite perform too. Maybe a song and a snippet or something I'm working on. But I'm juggling with that. It should be epic. It should be epic. The simple fact that to the fact that let me let these boys in. Let me let the brother back in. 1 second. 1 second.
I have a question when you have a chance, Mafia.
Okay. Let me greet everybody. G Bay, Jai Bay,
Islam.
Mutaza Majiel, Islam.
Islam, Morris.
So, oh yeah, we got Nobu Ali Day. That's Wednesday. The reason I feel it's epic is the fact that, for one, I'm gonna do a lecture on perform a song, and the fact how it's emerging. Historically, since I've been in the paradigm, Noah's paradigm, I haven't seen two temples uniting like that from two different ideologies of Moors. We go into international law and civics with the religion. There's some temples that just deal with the religion and that's it, and modify the trajectory of the movement as if it's just a religious group. So for two temples to come together and how it happened, because like it didn't just start. It started with, like I say, a couple of their members about a year or two ago, Vincent Bay, Terry Bay. They would come to all meetings. Just because they called wind of us. We was active. We had Lamar Park. We had like Long Beach. We demonstrating. putting out info. They seeing the growth. So they were like, oh man, it's Moors in Cali too. That's Khalifa Society. That's not Moorish Science Temple of America. But they active out here. They putting out the information, and it's information that we're not even getting. It's like, hold on, there's more to this type stuff, right? So they coming over, tapping in. Fast forward, we go to their temple. We attended one of their meetings about a year ago. But it was a hesitancy. It's, like I said, that women don't wear fezzes. They have certain little differences, like they know. But they got new membership the last couple months. That kind of pressed them, like, how come we're not unifying with these Moors over here? So for all those reasons, I feel like this would be an epic celebration for Noble Drew Ali Day. Just the fact that we collaborate and represents the unity that is very rare at this time. We'll just see what happens from there. This helps our political agenda at Khalifa Society. If anything else, is the fact that we're trying to unite. If it works out with this temple, let's try another temple. And remember, it's all up the heads. This is going to expose the heads to see where they at. Is they about the unity? Because what's going to happen is the members on the lower level that are just joining these temples, just finding out what a Moor is, they might be interfacing these temples first, and then they get wind of Khalifa Society after the fact, and they're like, hold on, man, they ain't going over these lessons. And so same thing happened with these other temples. Going to put pressure on their higher ups to be like, hold on, what's really, why are we not doing? Oh, they women wear feathers. That's it. That's why y'all ain't united with them. Hey, no, y'all gotta forgive me. But some of these temples are correct, and what's going to happen is things are going to get exposed, and that's what Noble Drew Ali's talking about. The new Moors with their eyes wide open. We finna change the ethers. But Altar, you had something? Oh, and by the way, that's from 6 to 10. It's gonna be in LA. Whoever, yeah, all is welcome. Whoever didn't get a flyer, let me know. What is the address? But Altar, you got something, Kyle?
Khalil, yes, sir. Um, you know, my nationality card is in the mail. Alhamdulillah. I
Got it?
appreciate you so much, brother. Nah, it's in the mail though. Well, you told me it's in the mail.
Oh yeah.
Well, you showed me it's in the mail. Yeah, yes, sir. So I'm just, after listening to the Empress today, and me still being, I'm fairly new. I've been in and out of the information for a while, but you picked me up off the street corner, and I'm new into the fold and whatnot. um, so man, stepping into this brand new school of thought, man, and leaving behind everything that was old business is old business, man. And so, are there any books or literature that I can understand? Definitely coming to class, most definitely, and staying in attendance. But are there any books that I can, or any, even if it's like any type of like law dictionaries that you recommend that I get as someone who's brand new with the card?
As far as the law dictionary, the first
Or
four
like,
editions.
yeah, like law dictionary or just anything. Like I got this one book that I've seen that Crip Jesus is promoting right now, and it's called The Card Explained. But I also did a little bit of research on the difference between a temple nationality card and then the nationality card that we working with, as far as like when it says U.S. United States or USA citizen, and the difference between that. So I seen that piece. So I'm thinking like, okay, there may be some credible information in this book that I'll need in the long run. But I also wanted to tap in and now I got the Morris Tactical Flowchart again as well. But are there any other literatures or books or anything else that I'll need um, as a brand new card holder, basically?
Oh, yeah, that Moorish Tactical, highly recommended. And actually, 'cause all I'm doing is highlighting the fact of a couple of the main laws dealing with ID. Like I said, Title 18, just become very familiar with it. Be able to reference it. Title 18,
Title
uh,
18. Okay.
you know,
Okay.
Section 1028, subsection D3. Commercially, it's called Criminal Resource Manual 1508. Dealing with nationality cards, or how that's some, more superior form. Just, get fluid with that. Get
Which one?
fluid.
What's the name of it again?
It's in the book we just got to. It's
Oh, okay.
it's I put it in the book, CRM 1508, Criminal Resource Manual 1508, but that's basically Title 18 United States Codes, Section 1028,
Got it.
subsection D3. Yeah.
Page 27. Okay. Okay.
Um, so get familiar with that. Get familiar with like this right here, because it's connected to ID too, right? The 14th Amendment not being ratified by all these states. So therefore, the state of whatever, which is connected to the United States, you can't force me to be that. And this on another angle. Um, it wasn't ratified. Nobody can be a U.S. citizen. That's voluntary. I don't want to voluntarily be a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
That's not my identification. Everybody has a nationality. And back to that manual. Oh yeah, yeah. Back, like I said earlier, the Q&A section of that consular notification and exit manual, which I put in the book, I highlight. It's a Q&A section. Is nationality the same as citizenship? Yes. For purposes of this manual, yes. So you're not a U.S. citizen by default because you know your nationality. Your nationality determines your citizenship. So all these
Okay.
things have to do with identification. And remember, you're using their stuff against them. Use the exact lingo. According to the instructions that you're supposed to be deemed to know that y'all get trained on every week, your nationality, it says nationality determines your citizenship. So you're trying to say I need to be a U.S. citizen? I need to identify as a U.S. citizen? You're forcing me? That's genocide. Right.
Yeah.
So you got somebody said something?
Oh no, no, I'm sorry, Mafia. I caught you right there. No, I was just about to say the human trafficking aspect of all of this, but you just hit it right on the nail with the genocide.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. So uh yeah, so I would say study all that space so you can comprehend like what you're dealing with. And just
Okay.
by you having a clear understanding on that, now you're in a different jurisdiction because your
And,
mind is
and
different.
and what's a good law book? Because I see a lot of Morris recommend Black's Laws Dictionary Volume 4, but that book is expensive and it's hard to come across. So what's a good one to that I can get a hold of to start off with? I'm pretty sure like all of them are good, but what's a good one that I can go back into like looking at laws and history prior to like 1920 probably?
I mean, I could email you the fourth edition.
Oh, you got it? Okay, yeah.
I can email you a PDF. It's the whole
Okay, yeah,
book.
that's cool. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. So yeah, outside of that, I'm trying to think identification. Um, maybe studying the laws that deal with it's not a crime to not identify. Even though I don't like to go that route.
Mhm.
I like to show my identification and then go the other route I was talking about. Constant notification access. I just don't like to come off as combative. I like to just let it be like, look, this is the law. Here it is right here. Boom,
Right,
boom, boom. I'm not arguing with them. And I'm very monotone. I'm
right.
very monotone. I'm very, just the tone of my voice is very, I can't get too loud. I mean, you know, it's a just for me personally. So I'm already pretty smooth when I'm talking.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so I just like to be clear. My thing is just to be clear, let them know where it's at, make good eye contact, don't be nervous and, frantic. Because now they're gonna be like, oh, you looking suspicious. He's up to something. So that's where the intelligent tone and all that type of stuff
Right,
come into play. You
right.
know,
Okay, okay.
uh, anybody else in the chat got any thoughts, statements? comments. All the boys in Cali, like I say, whoever hasn't got the flyer, let me know. Noble URE Day, Wednesday, 6 to 10. If you need the address, reach out, I'll give it to you.
There's gonna be food.
It's gonna be food provided. It's gonna be chess. Like I said, I'm gonna do a lecture.
Candy.
Children activity and 9L gonna have it should be a lot of children here. 9 is gonna be putting together a children activity for the children. It's gonna be karaoke during that. I'm looking at the itinerary. That's the itinerary of what I'm talking about right now. That's probably where I perform a couple songs, and that's that little pocket space. It's gonna be a dinner where we just kind of just chopping it up, getting the brotherhood, building a rapport, and then it's gonna resume into something, another demonstration. Oh yeah. Oh, matter of fact, oh yeah, DL. Did you communicate with their Mufti? Jones L? I'm not sure if DL's still there. But yeah, the Mufti is supposed to be
Islam?
it's not you there? Hello?
I'm still here.
Oh, did you communicate with the Mufti Jones L?
No, I haven't got in contact with him yet.
Okay.
He hasn't reached out to me yet.
Okay, I give you his information and just give him a call
Okay.
because he might be waiting. Yeah, I might have just said it wrong. Maybe he was waiting on you to call. So I'll give you I give you his
Okay.
number. That's about
Okay.
how it went. I think it went like that. Yeah.
Okay. Just give it to me after the meeting.
Yeah, I gave it to you after the meeting. So the
Gotcha.
reason I brought that up is because that's another element of the Noble Drew Ali Day. It's gonna be the Mufti's gonna be like security and y'all gonna relieve each other. I think it might be 4 Muftis and y'all gonna be on post. And then it's gonna be a time for you to kind of relieve yourself, kind of be part of what's going on. And y'all gonna do like a rotation. Like think of it like a rotating shift. So that's another element of it. Other than that, I believe that's pretty much the update for what we got going on. I'm still waiting on the bone people. Matter of fact, I got a text from one of them today saying that they're waiting on their schedule for February because we shoot in February. So I'm still on standby with that. I did want to show something in this book I was kind of tampering with, dealing with how the Irish became white. The reason I felt this was fascinating is because in Ireland, of course, we know the original Irish back in the 1500s, the original Irish was dark, but the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Irishmen that were there later were classified as black. Even though they had blonde hair, blue eyes, they were classified as black. And I found this little quote right here before the book started. The Irish are the blacks of Europe. So say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. I thought about James Brown. And I'm like, so blonde hair, like, it's all these authors. I was laughing with 9L. Like, all these authors know that that's a status. Black and white ain't had nothing to do with skin tone. And it lets you know, like, man, it's 2 levels with this. Yes, gatekeepers, yes, people that's trying to manipulate, but it's a lot of information showing the truth too. And it's just about the pendulum. That's why back to Noble Drew Ali saying study, study, study. Is because you're gonna start realizing, like, hold on. This information ain't as buried as we thought. So look, here's something else that stood out to me. This book looks at how one group of people became white, how the Irish became white when they came to the Americas, because the other modern Europeans that were talking about they was white after they killed Lincoln, that's when it started white people. Before that, nobody was saying it was white. That wasn't the terminology. All right, so that became a terminology after 1860s. So when the Irish start coming over here, they were looked at as like a low class, vagabond, peasant. They got treated bad. They were recommended to play the game when you get here. you better say you white so you get that treatment of being superior, because that's the game we playing out here. We playing the black and white game. And I was talking with 9L too about the same at my table when I be set up. The Ethiopian or Abyssinian people that come from over here, or any East African, it's the same thing with them. I never called myself black until I got to America. Everybody's calling me black after 10 years. I just say I'm black. That's just the lingo out here. Right. So when you analyzing it like that, you start seeing like, oh, okay, everything that we're learning, the continental American Moors that are not from these areas, we're learning the information about world history, about the empire. We're learning it through books and master teachers. It's reconfirmation when you get people from different parts of the world to confirm what you're learning. And that's another point. Literature going to confirm it. Actual human beings are going to confirm it. Right? So I wanted to share that they came over here and start adopting being called white because of the institutionalized caste system here in North America that's being played. So it was more advantageous for them to play that game so they won't get mistreated. So they get the best jobs, et cetera, right? So the Irish who immigrated to America in the 18th and 19th centuries were fleeing the caste oppression and the system of landlordism that made the material conditions of the Irish peasant comparable to those of the American slave. So they was under the same conditions that the Negroes was under. In Ireland, they were black. They were Negro. Even though they had blonde hair, blue eyes, their political status was black and Negro. Right? They came to a society in which color was important. So once they came to America, oh, it's color code system. Everybody saying black, white, black, white. What's this about? Right? They came into a society in which color was important in determining social position. So now you come into North America, they're playing skin tone games. Oh, that's the game being played out here? Oh, okay, I'm white. They get treated a little better. Everywhere else, this is unheard of. What's white, black? What's that? All right, so it was not a pattern they were familiar with, and they bore no responsibility for it. Nevertheless, they adopted it in short order. It was new to them, but they sure adopted it because they getting treated good. I'm trying to get in this mansion. I'm trying to be an overseer of a bank. I'm trying to control who get credit in this area. Right? I'm trying to be a judge. I'm trying to be a board member. I want to be in a position of power over here in America. I want to control the cattle over here. I don't want to be the cattle no more. I see who the cattle over here. So we're going to switch seats. All right. So this is a little background. And also during this time, we think about Ellis Island. Matter of fact, the Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio is actually playing one of the Slavs that came over through the boat to New York. These were the Slavs that I'm talking about. At this time, it's a heavy influx of Italians, a heavy influx of Irish. Here comes the Irish mob, the Italian mafia. All these things are coming around this time. Who's idolizing this in the media? Uh-oh, here comes the Godfather. Ooh. Why all our people think that's fly? Organized crime. All the rappers thinking they referencing mafia people. I'm Corleone. And all this. Not knowing that the Moors, that these mafia people have to have mixed blood to even be considered in the mob, and it's a Sicilian. So I'm saying a lot of different things, but it's like, once again, you have to have your head on the swivel and know it's a lot of things at play to know what's going on in real time. You have a question, Brother Achar? Kyle Razul El Day. I had to get off the whole title. I had to get it off. Altur Kyle Razul El Day. You got a question here?
Alhamdulillah. No, sir. I was just saying, wow, because you just you said Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie was he was a Slav coming over on the European ships to America. I never even thought of it like that. So that was just like a wow factor for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Also look at a movie called The Gangs of New York. it's gonna bring a lot of insight to with the municipal police, what their origin came from, and their intention.
Hey, Mafia. Also, I wanted to add on. I was reading this book from J.A. Rogers, and he says in his book that the original Europeans were called the Grimandais. The Grimandais were Moors, and where how everything changed was through amalgamation, where there was a group of people from the Caucasoid Mountains called the Cro-Magnons, and they started intermixing, and this is how the skin complexion genetically began to change over years. But yes, the first Aboriginal true Europeans were the Grimandais, which were melanated people. I just wanted to add that in. Hello?
Oh, sorry about that. I was muted, but yeah, law and history go together. For competence in real time. That's what makes you competent or incompetent, knowing law and history. And as we can see, it's crates of books that validate what we're learning in the Moorish circles, in the Moorish paradigm, from unbiased authors. Most of the authors is modern European. They just telling the truth. So study. And these become teaching tools to waking up our people. Just common sense, practical themes, literature, cross-referencing. That's back to the ambassador space. You never can forget the ambassador missionary aspect. That could never stop. Because there's people waking up every day, fresh minds, and they need to know that we exist. For that, if anything else, it's for that. It's to know what our missionary work statement is. And they just got woke up yesterday about they saw this documentary, or they saw Taj, or they saw somebody, C.L. Freeman, C. Freeman L., and they just seen something about Moorish science, and they wanted to go deeper in that. And the next day, they was at a grocery store, and they seen somebody with a fez or a turban. Are you a Moor? Oh, yeah. Oh, what? Right, so that's how it works. We just need to be consistent. And it actually comes to us. Um, yeah, any thoughts? Today was an interesting day, how today kind of turned out. But I feel we made the best of it. So, no thoughts. Let me go to continuing. We're on chapter 17. I'm going to read this and then we'll close out in prayer and kind of discuss Noble Joe Ali Day. See what people want to do for our synchronicity. The Khalifa Society members, we want to come in at one time. We don't want to come in out at separate times. So I do want to coordinate that. So this is chapter 17. Yahshua passes the fourth brotherhood test, takes the fourth degree of adept. The choicest viands and the most delicious wines were on the boards, and maids in gay attire, happy attire, served all with grace and cheerfulness. And men and women richly clad were there, and they were wild with joy. They sipped from cherry cups of mirth, and Yahshua watched the happy throng in silence for a time. And then a man in garb of a sage came up and said, "Most happy is the man who, like the bee, can gather sweets from every flower. The wise man is the one who seeks for pleasure and can find it everywhere. At best, man's life on earth is short, and then he dies and goes he knows not where. Then let us eat and drink and dance and sing. Let us get joy of life, for death comes apace. It is but foolishness to spend a life for another man or for other men. Behold, I die and lie together in the grave where none can know and none can show forth gratitude." But Yahshua answered not. Upon the tinsel guests in all their rounds of mirth, he gazed in silent thought. And then among the guests, he saw a man whose clothes were coarse who showed in face and hand the lines of toil and want. The giddy throng found pleasure in amusing him, abusing him. They jostled him against the walls and laughed at his discomfort or his discomfiture. And a poor, frail woman came, who carried in her face and form the marks of sin and shame, and without mercy she was spit upon. And a little child with timid ways and hungry men came in and asked for just a morsel of their food. But she was driven out, uncared for, and unloved, and still the merry dance went on. And when the pleasure seekers urged that Yahshua join them in their mirth, he said, how could I seek for pleasure for myself while others are in want? How can I think that while the children cry for bread, while those in haunts of sin call out for sympathy and love, that I can fill myself too full with the good things of life? I tell you, nay, we all are kin, each one a part of the great human heart. I cannot see myself apart from that poor man who you so scorned and crowded at the wall, nor from the one in female garb who came up from the haunts of vice to ask for sympathy and love, and who by you was so ruthlessly pushed back into her den of sin, nor from that little child you drive from your midst to suffer in the cold, bleak winds of night. I tell you, men, what you have done to them, my kindred, you have done to me. You have insulted me in my own home. I cannot stay. I will go forth and find that child, that woman, and that man, and give them help until my life's blood all has ebbed away. I will call it pleasure when I help the helpless, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, and heal the sick, and speak good words to cheer those unloved, discouraged, and depressed. And this that you call mirth is but a phantom of the night, but flashes of the fire of passion painting pictures on the wall of time. And while the Logos spoke, the white-robed priest came in and said to him, the council waits for you. Then Yahshua stood again before the bar. Again, no word was said. The Hierophant or the high priest or the Magi placed in his hand a scroll on which was written philanthropy. Philanthropy. And Yahshua was a victor over his selfish self. So this was another brotherhood test where he passed and he was shown to be a philanthropist, a humanitarian. He was like, forget all that. I'm at this status. Let's enjoy life and fruit, all the fruits of the world. And I know people in my direct sphere that are homeless, hungry, and I have resources in abundance that can help them. Why am I ignoring that? He passed the humanitarian test or the heart chakra test. All right. So these are lessons. Once again, principle-driven verses in our holy books, whether it's the Quran with the Q, the K, the Bible, Egyptian Book of the Dead. These are all principles to maintain peace on earth, to maintain peaceful interactions with society, our brothers and sisters, have morals, and to motivate yourself to know how great you are. Any thoughts on that chapter, chapter 17? All right, so let me close out in prayer. And I want to get a feel of Nabi Ali Day. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Nabi Ali. Amen. Islam. Let me stop the recording.